Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is LB Tarot back at you again with another video. I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating to my channel. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support. And thank you for those of you who've been booking readings with me. It is truly appreciated, okay? So guys, your girl's Patreon channel is up and running. So if you would like to support your girl, you'll be able to find the link in the description box below. I do post 2 exclusive videos per week, so go check it out if you feel called to. Now, before we dive in, if you've been loving the energy here, I have created a collection of spiritual ebooks and printable workbooks to help you along your journey. From manifestation rituals to love journal prompts, these tools are designed to help you align, heal, and rise. You'll be able to find a link in the description box below or on my Patreon channel under the shop tab. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be about how does your boss slash manager perceives you. So pile number 1, you're going to be the citrine crystal. Pile number 2, you're going to be the rose quartz crystal. And pile number 3, the clear quartz crystal. So again, pile number 1, citrine crystal. Pile number 2, rose quartz crystal. And pile number 3, clear quartz crystal. So pause this video if you must and meditate on the card or the crystal that you feel most drawn to. You'll be able to find your timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your pile. Hi Pawan! Welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pile number 1, you picked the citrine crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So my pile number 1, how does your boss slash manager perceives you? How do they perceive you? How do your manager, your boss perceive you? How do they perceive you? We have the Knight of Cups. So with the Knight of Cups energy, they perceive you as someone who is friendly, welcoming, someone who's easy to work with, someone who's easy to collaborate with. There's good emotional rapport with you and your manager. And also there's good emotional rapport with you and your coworkers. So you definitely bring a sense of peace and clarity to the environment that you frequent. Okay, so in the workplace there's good positive energy. Maybe your manager may have like I heard a secret crush on you. They may like you in a romantic way. Okay, how does your boss manager perceives you? How does your boss manager perceive you? They perceive you as someone who is moving forward within the organization. So your manager could also be, they could be contemplating whether or not they're going to promote you. There's a big chance, high chance that you will get promoted. Like there is a positive like connection with you and your manager. They see you as somebody who is future oriented, okay, somebody who gets things done. Ooh, we have the Lovers. It doesn't necessarily mean that they want to be in a relationship with you, but they feel like you are in alignment with your organization's um goals and expectation of what they look for in a candidate for a leadership position. But there's good rapport. But for some of you, like I said, some of your manager actually has a crush on you or a secret crush on you. Okay, maybe your manager is like They can't. They have to be professional, but I think they may have a crush on you with the lovers. Okay, so how does your manager perceive you? Ooh, okay. We have the Empress right beside the lovers and the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a charmer, okay, but it's like good rapport, emotionally intelligent, okay, someone who's sympathetic. That's how they perceive you. But with the Empress, it enhances the experience that your manager has with you. It's like a positive experience. They definitely perceive you as somebody who brings a lot of abundance. You make everything, every interaction with you is a lot more seamless, a lot more amicable, friendly. How are you being perceived by your boss? How your boss perceives you? We have the Page of Wands. Okay, so your boss perceives you as someone who is optimistic, someone who is very, like, I'm getting like a welcoming energy with the Page of Wands, someone who is like encouraging, somebody who is also influential within your organization. You bring a lot of energy, passion, new ideas, okay? That's why they feel like you're going to go far in within the organization. If you're thinking about moving up the corporate ladder, you're definitely have great potential to do so. How does your boss, manager perceive you? We have the Four of Swords. They perceive you as someone who isn't like you don't disturb or disrupt the flow, like the workflow in the workforce. Okay, with the Four Swords, you're more someone who brings clarity, calm, and peaceful energy in everything that you do. So they trust you with a task. So let's say if they ask you to do something, you're able to do it. Okay, so how does your boss slash manager? We have the Six of Cups. Yeah, they perceive you as someone who gives them like a familiar feel. Like they feel like it's really about the rapport, emotional rapport with you and your manager with the Six of Cups. Okay, they see you as someone, they perceive you as someone who is like, I keep saying easy to work with, because that's like the main thing that your manager says maybe to their higher ups, right? When they talk about you in, like, when you guys, they bring you up in conversation with your manager, like your manager talks about you to other managers or their own manager when they're having their one-on-one. It's like a good rapport. There's positive feedback, okay, with the Six of Cups. So how does your boss, manager, they perceive you as somebody who's discerning? That's why they trust your judgment. When they ask you for some sort of like support, or when they ask about your opinion on something when it comes to work, you are someone that they trust your judgment. Okay, they know that you're sound in your logic and your reasoning with the Judgment card, so they trust you to do something. Like, your manager may not micromanage you that much compared to maybe other people, or they just maybe don't micromanage anyone. They prefer to leave people to do their thing, but whenever they assign you a task, they know that it's going to get done. How does your boss, manager perceive you? How do they perceive you? We have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, they perceive you as someone who's extremely competent, somebody who is independent, self-sufficient. With the Queen of Pentacles, you get ish done. But not only do you get it done, you're going to get it done in a very methodical manner. You're meticulous. That's how they perceive you. Like, you're like someone who is going to go above and beyond to get a task done. You're not going to be just mediocre. Okay, so how does your boss, manager perceive you? What do we Ooh, Ace of Pentacles. Wow. They see you as somebody who's a valuable asset to the team, to the organization. They see your value, they see your worth. I feel like you're going to get a promotion very soon, okay? If you've spoken to your manager in your one on ones about like potentially moving up to a different position, you're going to get it with the Ace of Pentacles, okay? That's what I'm getting here. They see you as somebody who's extremely valuable, dependable, okay? Worth investing in, resourceful as well. So how does your boss, manager perceive you? We have the Three of Wands. Yeah, they perceive you as somebody who's a visionary, somebody who's a go-getter, someone who gets things done. Like I said, that's why they want to promote you. You're going to be promoted to a leadership position if you haven't been already. Let's say if you're like a team lead, you're going to become like a manager, or like they don't mind promoting you to a management position because they feel like you have what it takes to take on a leadership role and to take on a lot more responsibilities. Okay, so how does your boss? We have the Three of Swords. They perceive you as someone who may have had like challenging or difficult work experiences in the past, where you might be at times a little bit guarded or maybe sensitive to certain things because it might be triggering certain past experience that you may have had with your previous jobs, but they may sense that underneath it with the Three of Swords. How does your boss slash manager? Ooh, Queen of Cups. Yeah, they perceive you as the Queen of Cups, okay? Emotionally intelligent, welcoming, okay? You have discernment. It's like emotionally safe to be around. That's how they perceive you. Like maybe your other coworkers, they feel comfortable working with you. It's like a very like pleasurable experience, okay? That's why I keep saying like you're a pleasure to work with. How does your boss manager perceive you? We have, ooh, the Queen of Wands. They perceive you as someone who is bold, confident, okay, self-assured. You take to leadership, you take initiative with the Ace of Wands. You're someone who goes after your goals without being told. You light up the room when you walk in. If you work online, like if you work, I'm like online, if you work remotely, even your online presence within like the virtual calls, like your team meetings, your team, like your vibe, and people could sense your energy even like through the camera. You are someone who is very articulate, expressive. That's how your manager perceives you. Okay, so how does your manager? We have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, they perceive you as someone who is creative, somebody who is organized, somebody who is driven, courageous, and bold. How do they perceive you? Just one card, please, Spirit. How does your boss manager perceive you? We have the Five of Pentacles. Your manager could be very sensitive. They could be a water sign or have water. They're very perceptive, okay? Because your manager kind of sense that you've been left out or you've been disappointed in your work relationship in the past. They could sense that, okay? Because there's a little bit of guardedness. Even if you are open, pleasure to be with, pleasure to work with, there is another aspect of you with the Five of Pentacles where you may have felt neglected or unseen or underappreciated in your previous roles, okay? And your manager could sense that. They could see that within you. How does your manager boss perceive you? We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles. So 2 2. We have 3 3 and 1 1 with the aces, right? So what I'm getting here with the Two of Pentacles, your manager perceives you as someone who is multi-talented, somebody who is able to juggle multiple responsibilities. Maybe you work in implementation, or maybe you work in like project management. You could work as a like call center, like customer service position, where there's a lot of demands and maybe it's high, like very demanding job, and a lot of pressure to perform, okay, or to get things done, or like maybe complete some certain milestones. I'm getting, and you're doing it well. So how does your boss perceive you? We have the Four of Wands. Yeah, like a great addition to the team. There's a celebratory energy around surrounding you. They perceive you as an anchor. Like, wow, we have the Wheel of Fortune that was already flipped over. Okay, expansion, luck, abundance. That's how they perceive you. Ever since you came into the department, or like let's say if you're new less than a year, like let's say if you're reaching your 1 year anniversary, your manager is very proud of your accomplishments. They're very proud of your performance because they feel like ever since you reached the team, they have seen an increase in performance, because like maybe you motivate other people, or just your energy is encouraging and other people are engaged when you talk, or there is a lot of like forward movement, there's a lot of like action, there's a lot of expansion. Okay, good energy coming in, like you stimulate good energy. That's how your manager perceives you. Okay, they're pleased with your performance. So how does your boss manager perceive you? We have the Five of Pentacles again. Yes, somebody who's been left out in the cold or neglected in the past, because it may have taken you quite a, not quite a bit, but like a little bit of time to warm up to your environment, and then now you're more comfortable in your role or comfortable with the organization and the expectations of you. Okay, so how does your manager boss perceive you? Yeah, they perceive you as someone who's a go-getter with the Eight of Wands, somebody who's action oriented, somebody who is bold, okay, courageous, who takes to leadership. Okay, so how does your boss manager perceive you? Ooh, we have the Queen of Wands again. I'm telling you, bold, confident. They find you attractive too. Like I'm telling you, your crush. What? You ever crush on your manager? They have a crush on you. Oh my god. But with the Queen of Wands, yeah, they find you attractive, bold, confident, okay? Regal. You could be Leo. So how does your manager boss perceives you slash boss? How does your manager? Queen of Cups again. Yeah, emotionally intelligent. Yeah, wise, calm, soothing. That's how they perceive you. Like you know how to, you're good at conflict resolution. Okay, so how does your boss manager perceive you? How does your boss? Yeah, Ace of Cups. I'm telling you, we have the Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. There's good rapport. Like even if they don't have a crush on you, the emotions, how they feel about you is positive. There's a positive disposition. Okay, but they perceive you as someone who's genuine as well with the Ace of Cups in everything that you do. So how does your boss perceive you? How does your boss? Ooh, Page of Cups. I'm telling you, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups. There's a lot of emotional rapport here. There's a lot of emotional satisfaction and emotional ease and familiarity with your manager. They really like you. They like you a lot. Like your manager really likes you. They would be like disappointed if you were to leave the company or just like the department, but they'll be happy for your success, but they'll be sad. Like, if you ever leave. That's what I'm getting here, because they really enjoy you as like an employee. Okay? So that's all I have for you, my pal number one. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number one. Bye. Hi, pal two. Welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So, my pal number two, you picked the rose quartz crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So, my pal number two, how does your boss slash manager perceives you? How does your manager perceive you? Let's see. How does your manager perceive you? How do they perceive you? Ooh, 10 of Wands in reverse. Relief. They're relieved to have you on their team. They perceive you as like a great addition to the team, a helper, a breath of fresh air. Because I kept on hearing breath of fresh air before I pulled the card. That's how they perceive you, as a breath of fresh air. It's like, yeah, you see when somebody's like, finally could excel. Like maybe your manager was holding their breath before they hired you. Maybe the company, there could have been like some sort of layoff or something like that, and then you got hired afterwards. And before you got hired, the company, maybe the department was in hot waters or something like that, or they were just, there's a lot of chaos and turmoil, and then you came in and you just saved the day. Okay, so how does your boss manager perceive you? Ooh, as discerning. Okay, you have this inner knowing. You have a lot of wisdom. Okay, with the high priestess, they perceive you as someone who's mysterious, that you know more than you let on. You're very careful with your words. Okay, you're not somebody who just run your mouth or just say what you think out of your, you don't say the first thing that comes to mind. Like you're very careful with how you say things or how you present things, because you're sensitive to people's emotions, people's, like, the environment that you're in, how you are being perceived as well. So how does your manager? Ooh, we have the 5 of Wands. Okay, they may perceive you as somebody who stir conversation or disrupt, not in a sense where it's negative, like you disrupt the flow, but you just bring out maybe competitive, like the competitive nature of others. It's like you bring up engagement. There's more engagement when you're around. Like ever since you came into your organization, like people are more on, like they're on their toes, they're kept on their toes, they're more your colleagues are more engaged in their goals or trying to complete their quota, especially if you're in sales or something. Like I'm getting like your manager feels like they perceive you as somebody who like pushes people to be the best version of themselves with the 5 of Wands. Okay, not in a negative sense, but there is competition, but it's like friendly competition. Yeah, Ace of Swords. They perceive you as somebody who is honest, who is truthful. You're a great communicator. Yeah, like you get things done. You speak in a way where it's clear, understandable. You're straight to the point. There's no sugarcoating with you. You're not beating around the bush. You get to the point. It's concise, it's clear. People understand what you're saying. So your manager definitely appreciates that. How does your manager perceive you? We have the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, a great addition to the team with the 3 of Pentacles. Like you are collaborative. That's how they perceive you. So your coworkers, they enjoy working with you, even though like there's friendly competition here with the 5 of Wands. But overall, the experience with you is positive. It's collaborative. Okay, like there is unity here. You work well with others. Like it's not like there's conflict with you all the time. So how does your boss manager? Ooh, they perceive you as the blueprint. Okay, they would love for others to work just like you, or to be as dedicated or as hardworking as you are with the 8 of Pentacles. Like you're very methodical, okay, meticulous. Yeah, you're hardworking. Okay, you execute flawlessly with the 8 of Pentacles. That's what I'm getting here. How does your boss manager perceive you? We have the 4 of Pentacles. They perceive you as someone who is grounded, somebody who is dedicated, somebody who is solid, like an anchor. Okay, they could trust you to get things done and to complete a task to its totality. Okay, you're not going to leave things half-assed with the 4 of Pentacles. What I'm also getting here, your manager perceive you as someone who is like you go above and beyond, because we have the 8 of Pentacles. Like you could be like a top performer. Okay, we have the 4 of Cups. Ooh, your manager perceives you as someone who's not easily impressed. Okay. That's why I feel like you go above and beyond. Like that's why your standards are very high with the 8 of Pentacles. That's how your manager perceives you. They know that you're not going to be impressed with just like glitter and gold, like anything that glitters, and or you're going to be impressed by consistency. Okay, you're a very consistent individual. That's how your manager perceive you. You consistently deliver. You're not like a one-off or a fluke, right, where you just hit a goal or hit a target and that's it. No, you consistently demonstrate that you could always hit your target, you could always reach the top, and you always become better than you were before. So there's always continuous improvement with you. So how does your boss manager perceive you? We have the 4 of Swords. Yeah, they perceive you as someone who, like, I feel like you're just, yeah, unbothered. Okay, like, and also like you don't get caught up in office politics or drama. That's what I'm getting here. Your manager, that's how they perceive you, because you never get caught up in, like, gossip or people saying he, she. Wow. He says, she says. Oh my gosh. You don't get caught up in that. How does your manager, boss, perceives you? We have the Page of Pentacles. They perceive you as a lifelong student because you're always learning, you're always improving your craft. Okay, so that's why I said that continuous growth and improvement. You might be new within the organization or newer in your role, but you are not new to your job. So let's say, for instance, you just got a new job or you've been there for like 6 months. You are new to the role itself in the organization, but not necessarily to that type of job. Like, you already have the skill sets and the talent to get it done. So your manager definitely perceives you as somebody who has longevity and sustainability. So how does your manager perceive you? We have the Nine of Swords. They perceive you as someone that may overthink at times, or because you are a perfectionist, you want things to be done in a specific manner. You have high standards for yourself, so sometimes you may be harsher or harder on yourself when it comes to getting a goal done. So how does your manager perceive you? Ooh, we have the Three of Cups. Okay, yeah, they definitely see you as a pleasure, like to work with, collaborative, open, friendly, approachable. So your other colleagues could approach you, they could talk to you. You're not closed off or standoffish. Okay, so even if you're more on the quiet side or introverted side, your employees, like your employer and, like, your manager and your colleagues, they enjoy working with you, even if you don't really talk about your personal life or anything of that sort. You still engage, you're still social within the organization, so it's easier to work with you. Like, you have to kind of like, in a workplace, you kind of have to wear a social mask, not to be like fake or anything like that, but you still have to learn to navigate social settings. And your work environment is a social settings. Even if you are working, you're still socializing with people. So you are really good at navigating those social settings with the High Priestess. You know what to say and you know what not to say. You know how to conduct yourself, like, you know how to wear that mask, and then you know how to engage with different personalities. Okay, how does your boss, manager perceive you? How does your boss, yeah, they perceive you as somebody who is like, they know what their ish. They know how to speak. They know how to engage with others. They trust your judgment. Pile number one got that too. They trust your judgment. They know that you know what you're talking about. Okay. They know that, like, your logic makes sense. The way that you operate, the way that you do things, it makes sense with the Judgment card. How does your boss, manager perceive you? How does your boss, manager perceive you? Yeah, expansion. Okay, positive. You see, we have the Wheel of Fortune again for pile number two. Pile number one got the Wheel of Fortune too. So I feel like, collectively, you guys have a really good rapport with your manager, or they have a positive opinion of you, or a positive experience with you, because we have the Wheel of Fortune. They perceive you as someone who's expensive, somebody who brings a new way of doing things. You're progressive, you're futuristic. Okay, you're wise beyond your years. We have the Queen of Pentacles, dependable, reliable, and trustworthy. This is how your manager perceives you. Like, they perceive you as somebody who is grounded, somebody who is safe. You're not volatile. They don't have to manage your emotions or manage your personality. Like, they don't have to worry about, like, how you interact with other people. It's pleasant. You're self-reliant as well. So that's how your manager perceives you. And it's like easier for them to do their job because they have to do escalation, right? Managers have to deal with escalation. They have to deal with, unhappy clients and customers, so that's like one thing off the list that they have to worrying about, like how a colleague interacts with other people. It's like they don't have to do that conflict management thing, right? So it's easier for them to engage. So how does your manager, boss, perceive you? How does your manager, boss, perceive you? Let's see. Just one card, please, Spirit. We have the Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior. Not necessarily that you're a wounded warrior, but they perceive you as somebody who could handle challenges, difficult customers, difficult clients, okay, difficult stakeholders, okay? So with the Knight of Wands, they perceive you as someone who has grit, somebody who has stamina, endurance, okay? You're not easily rattled, or you don't crumble under pressure just because a customer is not happy about a situation. Like, you know how to handle yourself. How does your boss manager perceive you? We have the moon card. They perceive you as someone who is mysterious. There's more to you than meets the eyes. Your manager knows that. They know that, there's a lot to you that is like not being said, that you keep to yourself, and they appreciate that. Like, they're not mad at that, but they know that you have more. Like, there's more to you. Okay, like, what they know is just like maybe surface level about you, but they find you intriguing. So how does your boss manager perceive you? Ooh, we have the Hierophant. They perceive you as a not extremely knowledgeable, wise, okay, subject matter expert. That's what I'm getting here. That's how they perceive you, because that's what the Hierophant is on, like, well, like, higher level. He's a subject matter expert. Like, he goes above and beyond. Like, he knows, like, he's extremely knowledgeable how things are done. Like, it's like the go-to person, and that's how they perceive you. So how does your manager perceive you? We have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, confident, bold, passionate, driven. Okay, that's how they perceive you. Yeah, like, you exude confidence, positivity. Okay, so how does your manager? We have the Five of Cups. They perceive you as somebody who may have been disappointed in your work relationships, but you don't let that affect your performance. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. Pile number one had something similar. It wasn't the Five of Cups that came out. It was the Five of Pentacles. So how does your boss slash manager perceive you? Just one card, please, Spirit. How does your boss? We have the Knight of Swords. They perceive you as somebody who's sharp, okay? Somebody who's fair in their dealings with others, okay? You could be a Libran. We have the Six of Swords. They perceive you as somebody who is really good at conflict management, okay? Somebody who's able to move things along. You don't get stuck, you don't get trapped, okay? So you move things along. You're very progressive. You're someone who brings a lot of stability, mental calmness. That's how they perceive you, because we have the Four of Swords as well. So, like, you don't stay in challenging situation, or you don't put fuel to the fire when there is a situation going on. Okay, so how does your boss slash manager perceive you? We have the Two of Wands. Okay, they perceive you as somebody who is organized, okay, methodical, somebody who takes charge, somebody who has like ideas, and you are able to bring it to fruition. How does your manager perceive you? Just one card, please, Spirit. Just one, please. How does your boss? Ooh, we have the Ace of Cups. They perceive you as somebody who is genuine. You definitely work with care. Everything that you do is like very thoughtful. Okay, you don't just do things just to do it, or you don't rush through tasks. Okay, you take care of your work. You're like, your reputation to you really matters, because we have the Three of Pentacles. Like, you're not somebody who doesn't care about your reputation or how you're being perceived in the workplace, and they appreciate you for that. Okay, so how does your manager perceive you? Yeah, Three of Cups, and I think that's like the second time. Yeah, Three Cups is here twice. Okay, amicable, friendly, enjoyable to work with. Okay, pile number one got similar energy, like a pleasure to work with, a pleasure to be around. Okay, friendly, amicable. That's how they perceive you. It's like you're approachable, you're open, so it's like easy to engage with you. It's not a like conflict of like personalities and always bumping heads. Okay, so that's all I have for you, my pal number two. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number two. Bye. Hi, pal three. Welcome to my channel. This is Talabidi Tarot back at you again with another video. So, my pal number three, you picked the clear quartz crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So, my pal number three, how does your boss slash manager perceive you? How do they perceive you? How do they perceive you? How do they perceive you? How does your manager? Ooh, Seven of Wands. Mm-mm-mm. There's a little bit of friction here with you and your manager. Yeah, because Seven of Wands, especially look at the illustration, defensiveness, right? Protection, boundary. They perceive you as boundaried up. I don't know. I don't feel like you guys are hitting it off. Like I'm getting like two bulls, you know? Maybe you're both Tauruses. Maybe you have your way of doing things and your manager has their way of doing things and they're not, you guys are not seeing eye to eye. You don't have to be a Taurus, but I'm just saying because bull. But yeah, I'm not getting like you guys are on good, no, I wouldn't say on good terms, but like there's friction here for sure. How does your manager boss perceive you? How does your manager, yeah, Ace of Swords, they perceive you as somebody who is like, honest in your dealings, straightforward, communicative, okay? I feel like maybe your communication style don't match. There's something about the way that you communicate or the way that you guys do certain things doesn't match. Like they could kind of see you as combative or somebody who stands their ground, somebody who's not budging. Okay, so how does your manager boss perceive you? How do they perceive you? We have the Five of Pentacles, okay? Yeah, I feel like you and your boss, yeah, it's not given. Okay, it's not giving like pile one and two, the energy was like, very welcoming, open, friendly, but you, it's like, mm-mm. They feel like they perceive you as someone who's not really part of the team or someone who is having like a hard time settling in. There's conflict. So how does your boss, yeah, they perceive you as very headstrong with the King of Wands, bold, driven, focused, like expressive, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like the way, like maybe your style, your manager's style and your style do not mesh. I don't think you guys are like meshing. They perceive you as someone who is like very bold and expressive, and that could be a little bit challenging for them to manage. Like you have a strong personality, that's how they perceive you. So how does your boss, we have the Knight of Pentacles. They perceive you as somebody who is guarded, somebody who takes your time to get things done. You're very methodical, okay? Um, Grounded, but like you see, Knight of Pentacles is Taurus energies. Tauruses, they have the reputation of being stubborn, but it's not really stubbornness. It's more about willpower and determination. Like once they make up their mind about something, they're going to get it done, right? And they're not really, they're not, it's not that they're not flexible. It's just like once they make up their mind, that's it. Like, why am I going to change my mind? Like, this is what I want to do and I'm going to do it. Like, that's how I want to do it. Like, it's a fixed sign. So it's just like, once they make up their mind, is that's it, right? So it may be perceived as stubbornness because it's like lack of malleability, like you know flexibility, but it's just like, they make up their mind, that's it. Like they know what they want, and they're gonna get it. Like, why am I gonna change my mind because you don't like the way I'm doing it? So I feel like it could be something like that with the Knight of Pentacles. But like you're very methodical, loyal. That's how they perceive you. They know that you're gonna get it done, but I just feel like maybe your approach and their approach don't match. Like you're seeing, like maybe you think your way is better, and then your manager's like, well, no, my way is better. So that could be like something like that. So how does your manager? Yeah, they perceive you as somebody who's hard to read. Okay, there's more to you than meets the eyes. Like there's more to it. They feel like you're kind of like closed off. not really open, on like definitely unreadable. Okay, so how does your manager? We have Temperance, Sagittarius. Yeah, you're calm, cool, and under pressure. You're wise beyond your years, but I just feel like there is something about your personality or the way that you do things or the way that you conduct yourself, like you're headstrong and you have like you have a strong personality, you have a strong presence, and maybe your manager is having a hard time. It's challenging for them to manage you and the department or whatever it is that they're managing, like you and other people, or like just the department overall. They may have a hard time because they may not be used to a strong personality like you, or somebody who has strong presence, or somebody who has a, like strong sense of self and autonomy. Like maybe this is somebody who is more comfortable with personalities that don't really question them. So I feel like maybe you question your managers, not necessarily their judgment, but you may question or challenge them or push back, because the seven of wands could represent pushback. So maybe you push back on certain things, or you push back on like what they say, or like their instructions, or maybe something is not clear and then you want more explanation, and it could be frustrating for them because they maybe this is somebody who's just like, you're supposed to figure it out, and it's like they don't want to give you more support. There's something about that, like you're not feeling this person, this manager. How does your manager perceive you? Oh, Eight of Cups wanted to come out. How did it perceive you? Didn't I say strength, Leo? Okay, and if you are a Leo and it's your birthday today, happy birthday. Okay, yes, maybe you're a Leo, another fixed sign. Okay, like what? Did I say Taurus? Taurus is a fixed sign. Leo's a fixed sign. Like, you're sovereign, you're strong. Okay, Leos are strong. Like you're not gonna bully a Leo, right? You're not gonna tell them what to do. Oh my god. So this man is just probably having a hard time. They're trying to control you, like maybe this manager's a control freak. I don't know, like, but they're like, I feel like, I don't feel like you're challenging this person because you want to be difficult, but you may be questioning not their motives, but there's something about like their management style don't mash with your personality. I feel like that's what it is. Okay, like maybe you're the type of person that like you want to be told like what exactly to do, the steps, and then you're on your merry way. Like you don't need hand holding. Maybe this manager could be micromanaging, maybe they want to be all up in your hoo-ha all day, right? I don't know. This man, like, this is what I'm getting. So they see you as somebody who's bold, maybe resistant. Okay, so how does your manager perceive you? We have the World, somebody who is extremely knowledgeable. That could be threatened to this manager. Maybe they like to be needed. So how does your manager perceive you? How does your boss manager perceive you? Yeah, Eight of Swords. I feel like you're stressed your manager out. I'm telling you. They're nervous. Maybe they feel like you might take their position because they see you as like, a leader as well. How does your manager perceive you? Ooh, as extremely competent. They know you're competent. They know you know what you're doing. You have amazing leadership skills, qualities, dependability. Like you're someone that people take to. Maybe you might be the person that some people defer to in the workplace, like your other coworkers, they might defer to you or might be closer to you, or in like there's something about how your manager operates that may not sit well with you. Okay, I keep getting like that, like you don't, yeah, it just doesn't sit well. There's something, like I said, bulls, like you guys are not seeing eye to eye. How does your manager perceive you? We have the Three of Cups. You see, like they perceive you as somebody where your co-workers, they enjoy working with you, that you are friendly, amicable, approachable, but with them, there's something that is not clicking. How does your manager perceive you? Yeah, Queen of Wands. Maybe you guys are both like fire sign or bulls. You see bulls, maybe you're both Tauruses or something like that. Okay, yeah, because we have the bulls here. Like I don't know, maybe you're a fixed sign, like Leo or something, Aquarius, Scorpio. Oh, even though we only have like Leo here, but there's something about your personality that's fixed, or that's like, when you have your mindset on something, it's like, no, I'm not budging, I'm not switching, I'm not like doing it. Like, you're not gonna come bully me, okay? And I don't feel like your manager is a bully per se, but like their management style, there's something about it that just, you see how I keep saying it doesn't mesh with you. How does your manager perceive you? We have the Six of Cups. They perceive you as someone, there is a sense of familiarity, like you may remind your manager of someone that they either interacted with. It could even be like an ex-wife or whatever, because this person, your manager, with the Queen and the King of Wands, you guys are like equals. Like, it's like this person met their match. This is what I'm getting. Like, your manager, that's how they feel with the Six of Cups. How does your manager perceive you? Your boss? Oh, maybe this is the reason why you guys are like bumping heads like that. We have the Lovers. This is like value and alignment. It's like sometimes when people are too similar, at times it may not go well, because it's like if you have a strong personality and then someone else with a strong personality, like, nobody wants to back down, right? Everybody wants to be like, yo, no, this is me, yo, like, listen to me, like, I know what I'm talking about. But then the other person's like, no, me too, like, so it's like, it's kind of hard to have two leaders in the room. Okay, somebody has to take the top spot. That's just how hierarchy works. You can't have two people at the top, like, there's only one CEO, there's not 20 CEOs, like, so it's like that type of energy here. So you guys are both like, there is similarities when in terms of personality, ways of doing it. So there is a clashing here, but like, your manager does not dislike you. They just find it challenging to work with you. They appreciate your work ethics and how you do things, because like, you do bring a lot of like value to the organization, but it's just challenging for them at times. Okay, so how does your manager perceive you? How does your manager perceive you? Seven of Wands again. Guys, I'm telling you, you stand your ground. Like, when you have an opinion, it's not that you're forceful with it, but when you have your opinion, you're not easily swayed. Okay, so how does your manager perceive you? We have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, grounded, somebody who is not easy, that doesn't budge easily, that's not malleable. We have the Magician, very capable, competent. And that could be like another reason why your manager is not contemplating, like, like letting you go or anything like that, because they feel like they know that you bring a lot of value. It's just like they are trying to adjust their style with your style, and they find it like, they definitely find you challenging. I'm not gonna lie, because the Seven of Wands is here twice. How does your, yeah, King of Swords, like, they perceive you as somebody who is sharp. You're hard to, like, you're hard to fool. You have great pattern recognition with the King of Swords. Okay, like, you're highly intelligent, competent. Okay, expressive. So how does your manager perceive you? Just one card, please, Spirit. How does your manager perceive you? How does your manager perceive you? We have the Eight of Pentacles. Didn't I say competent, like capable, methodical? Like, you could be a top performer with the Eight of Pentacles. This is what I'm getting here. We have the Queen of Cups, emotionally intelligent. So I feel like, yes, you may be challenging at times, but there is emotional intelligence. Like, maybe you don't challenge your manager in front of others, but like when you guys are on a one-on-one, or when you guys are maybe talking in teams or something, maybe you're more feisty, but they know that you have emotional intelligence. Like, I don't get that you question or you challenge your manager's judgment live, like in front of others. How does your boss manager perceive you? How does your boss manager? Ooh, boss. Didn't I say? Oh my gosh. Aries. Okay, like, what? This is like leader energy. Didn't I say? Like, and they could be like, you see, we have Leo as well. So it's like two powerful signs, right? Leo and Aries. So it's like, imagine like them coming at each other like, oh, like I'm sure people who are Aries and they have Leo friends or vice versa, or like, it's not like your Leo friend or your Aries friend is not gonna let you just bully them. Like, like good talking. Like, you guys know what I mean. Like, it's two powerful like energies coming together. Somebody has to, back down. Like, someone has to back down, like, compromise. And it's kind of hard to compromise. This is what I'm getting here. And that's how your manager perceives you, okay? But they definitely perceive you as like a somebody who has a strong presence, amazing leadership qualities as well, because we have the Queen and the King of Wands. So they definitely see themselves in you, but it's just like, it still doesn't mean that it won't be challenging for them, right? So how does your boss? Yes. Oh my gosh, the strength card is here twice. Holy moly. Okay. Leo energy is coming through heavily. Fire energy. Okay. Fixed. Didn't I say fixed signs? Okay. So how does your manager perceive you? Yeah, they perceive you as somebody who is powerful, who is strong, who is sovereign. So that's why they were having a hard time. Okay, so how does your manager perceive you? Just one card. We have the Knight of Cups. Okay, charming. Yeah, that's why like you do soften that strong personality because you're emotionally intelligent. Okay, so yeah, and capable. You have a great reputation. People enjoy working with you, your other coworkers, but it's just like your management style, like your manager's management style may not be the best because of like your strong personality, and they're having a challenging time. Okay, they're having a challenging time. All right. So that's all I have for you, my pal number 3. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 3. Bye.